the police either. Like I got Mexican friends that say more than me.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm waiting for the police. Like I'm waiting for the police to come. Like I wait for the police. I want a big black to come with a police shirt and be like, "Yo, I don't like you saying, bro." Know what I mean? Who gonna stop me?
And us as black people, we like, damn, like
yeah, well, like as a black person, what you want us to say? How do you want us to answer that? I'm sorry.
Now that's Takeshi 6ix9ine. Now he grew up in was it Brooklyn, New York. He's of Puerto Rican and Mexican descent, and he's one of those guys that's been around black people, and he likes to say the N-word, right? Now I grew up here in Philadelphia, and you know, I noticed that a lot of Puerto Ricans here, we get along great with Puerto Ricans. Black and Puerto Ricans are like brothers here. They've always used it, and for a long time in my ignorance, you know, we didn't say anything because they talked the way we talked. They lived with us. We got hung together, slept with each other's women, did everything. We all lived together in the ghettos together. And it wasn't until I got outside the hood and went to different places and I started noticing how some of the Puerto Rican kids wasn't racist, but their parents were. And they were still told not to be around us and don't have babies by us. Yeah, it was that. But we was never told that by our own parents. We was never told to be racist towards them. And we don't even have a word that we use in everyday lexicon to call them certain things. But they'll say the N-word, but we're not going around using words, derogatory terms for them as words of endearment. Not for them, it was only for us. And I didn't realize that until I started getting more mature, right? But I did some digging and I found out that Texas was having this same problem.
Now let me say this for the people who don't know. These Houston Mexicans are racist. The Houston Latino people are racist. I'm telling you, listen, I have been dealing with them for over 12, 13 years. You feel what I'm saying? These folks are racist, bro. Anytime you go on a job, their only focal point is going to be the black people. They're not going to tell their people nothing. They're going to let their people pretty much do whatever they want. But they're only going to focus on the things that you do wrong. I go through it all the time. You see what I'm saying? Now, mind you, I only work 2 days out the week. I really don't need to work, but I need to get out the house so I wouldn't be just sitting in the house really doing nothing. But anyway, from construction jobs to fast food jobs, that's why a lot of teenagers don't have fast food jobs, because you got 40, 50, 35-year-old immigrants, illegal, that's working these jobs. Because what they do, they fire all the black people. Once a Mexican become a manager, they fire all the black people, get them out of there, whether it's paperwork, whether it's through picking with them, whether it's whatever kind of situation, they get them out of there and put their people in there. Every single time. But it's not that they do that, it's the way they do it, you hear me? They can't rise up on an American black person.
But it's not just happening outside on the streets. It's also happening in the colleges. It's happening in the corporate structure. It's happening on many different levels, because when you go to these places where the majority is Mexican or Hispanic, we're finding out in a lot of these places across America that a lot of them tend to be more, racist than the W man. I mean, it's crazy towards black Americans, right? Y'all don't believe me? Check this out.
Right, the Chandler Caesar, he's a Hispanic man. He got together with the director of HR and the board of trustees, and they came up with this plan to get rid of black employees at high positions. They did anything from putting false complaints in their folders so they could get demoted or get fired, and then they replaced these black employees with Hispanics. Hispanics went up, the hiring for Hispanics went up 50%. These three individuals orchestrated the plan.
So when people say that we should join their struggle or we should be a part of that, no, we shouldn't. A lot of them, they don't rock with us. And the sad thing is they want us to join their struggle because they know in America, we've been the ones on the front line fighting for racial equality and against systemic racism. It's been us, systemic, institutional, all kinds of different racism. We've been fighting to knock down those walls and break down barriers, right? That's been the foundational black Americans. Everybody knows it. We don't have no other group that's fought for us to knock down barriers and break down walls that we benefited from. No. So while they're being racist towards us and saying little things in their other languages, right, they'll also at the same time come and want our help. But then when we're in cities where they got their numbers up, if you notice, when they live amongst us, they're safe. We're not running around unaliving them and doing certain things that happen in city life do happen, but for the most part, Puerto Ricans and Dominicans over here in the East Coast corridor, they're not running for their life, running from us. They're not afraid to be around black people. Dominicans all in the black West Philly and Southwest Philly, they're not afraid to be around black people where we are the majority. That's not happening, right? But what I notice is in certain cities across America, on the West Coast and the Southwest, I'm hearing horrific things when it comes to the relationships between so-called black and brown people, to the point where you're having now brown people even telling the truth and speaking out.
The first video I ever posted was about me talking to the black community and telling them I'm sorry. I actually had seen a video of a Latino man talking smack about the black community, and I was just like, I am so freaking sorry. In me, the black community will always have an ally. In me, the black community is welcomed and loved. But in my world, in the world that I wish to have, in my little corner, is a world where the Latino community and the black community can come together. And whenever I see videos like the one that I just posted and I stitched, it's disappointing. It's heartbreaking, honestly, because I see that that will never be the case because my people don't know how. Now, do I believe that every Latino is racist? No, just how I know that not every black person is racist. Can I blame y'all as a black community? Like, well, y'all, the black community. Can I blame y'all for not wanting to fight this fight with us, for sitting this one out? I don't. And I know that Latinos come at me all the time. Oh, you're pandering to them. Oh, like, just how dare I support y'all, pretty much. I don't care. Because I know that y'all are justified. And I know that not everybody in the black community feels that way. I know that there are good people and there are bad people, just like there is in every race. But it really is disappointing to see that, because it just shows me how far away we are from the world that I would love to have. Selfishly.
Why are Latinos asking black people to join them in the protest? But last month, black people asked Latinos to stop saying the N-word because black people find it disrespectful when Latinos say the N-word. And Latinos were so offended that they started disrespecting the black community. And I'm probably gonna get a lot of hate for this, but I want to say something. If you've been following me for a while or have gone through my videos recently, you see that I'm constantly pushing for unity between communities. Majority of the black people in the comments are stating how they get a lot of disrespect from the Latinos, and majority of the Latinos in my comments are actually really disrespectful to the black community. And I've been pushing for unity because these protests are not where we're gonna unite. There's something bigger to come where we need that unity. And something that I've been noticing during these protests is a lot of Latinos are asking the black community for help. And when the black community states how they don't want to, or they don't feel like they should, Latinos are disrespecting them with racial slurs. There's a video circulating on the internet where a Latina is yelling the N-word in a very derogatory form to a black police officer. How is that helping our cause when we're asking the black community to join us? There's videos on the internet where the comment section is full of hate from Latinos to black people because the black community doesn't want to join us on the protest. And while sure, I agree that this is everybody's fight, Latinos, we need to take responsibility and acknowledge the fact that this is our fault. I find it very ghetto and disrespectful for us to be saying the N-word. I find it very disrespectful for us to be even saying the M-word, that stands for Beatles in Spanish. And while I am going to have a lot of people in the comments saying that this is all politics and about the Latinos for Trump BS, this has nothing to do with politics because it is before Trump took office. We were put against each other back in the 1970s and the 1980s. And we're a product of that now because it was our parents that were put against one another. Why? Must I remind you that back in the 1960s when we were all united, we actually got things done, like the Civil Rights Act movement. Latinos tend to forget that black people, the black community, were out protesting for field worker rights, immigration rights with us. And the black community tends to forget that there were Latinos marching with Martin Luther King Jr. down to the point that we do have a statue for MLK in Mexico because MLK was a huge impact in the Latino community. And while I do not agree with Cesar Chavez and the stuff that he did to the immigrants in the United States, Cesar Chavez, amongst many other Latinos, were marching with MLK. Black Panthers were protecting Mexicans, while Black Panthers also helped start the Brown Berets. We have a lot of history together, and this is why divided we stay conquered, because together we get things done.
And see, my only pushback on the last woman would be, yeah, y'all have a statue of Martin Luther King down there in Mexico, but the way you treat your Afro Mexicans is horrific. right? And the one thing that you don't understand, yeah, we helped create the Brown Berets, and yeah, we fought with you guys on the front line for certain things, and some of you was in the marches with us, right? Fair enough. But you know what? You guys are safe when you come in our communities. We're not safe when we go to your communities. We're not told by our parents not to sleep with you or make babies or be around you or don't hire you or don't let you come into our house and fix things and do it. No, no, you are told not to be around us. Y'all use the same racist talking points that the W man use. Y'all use them towards us. That's the difference. That's the part that you're missing. So now we're well aware of everything that you're saying. We know what we've contributed to. We know who walked with us at certain times. But how you got a statue of Dr. King in Mexico and you and certain things that you know you guys walk with us on, but at the same time you got the same W man, W supremacist talking points towards us. But we live in the same communities together. If I'm boat racing a Hispanic girl's cheeks and she takes me home, the whole family just goes crazy and talk bad about her. But you ain't got a problem coming around my people, because my people ain't inherently racist towards y'all. Y'all are inherently racist towards us. That's a fact. And until y'all deal with that, we out. We out. Because we gave all our love and our attention and fought for everybody else. We out. Right? And if I'm wrong, check this Latino brother out right here. He proving my point. Don't tell me I'm wrong.
Like an older Mexican man won't let his daughter date a black man, but she could date a white man.
Because of the skin color. It's almost sad because they say para mejorar la raza. That's what they be saying.
To better the race.
Yeah.
So when my grandma moved to the city and my grandpa moved to the city and they met, my grandma automatically just seemed better because she was with this guy from Michoacan that was light skinned and white with green eyes. And she looked like Felipe, dark, short, and that she thought she was better, fool. Like, and I swear to God, for my grandma just passed, but she loved my nephew more than she loved my niece.
And see that Mexican talking right there, he can't pass for white. He looks way more indigenous. He is like the original brown man. He looks more indigenous, and he knows this, right? This is the thing. They know, they hear the arguments that we make. The same way when we talk about our black brothers and sisters in Africa and in the Caribbean, we talk about we don't have a problem with everybody, just the ones here talking down, but they act like they tone deaf. But they know exactly what we're talking about because they know exactly what their people do. They know the arguments. This Mexican knows the conversation. Like he said, they would rather their children marry a W man than lighten up and purify the race. We never had those issues. They never had those issues. I can honestly tell you, if one of my sisters brought home a Puerto Rican guy, we probably looking like, you were a Puerto Rican, but we wouldn't. But it wouldn't be from a racial perspective. We wouldn't say, "Oh man, what you bring that dude up in here for?" That's not the thought process. That was never the thought process. It's like that now because of the way that y'all operate. But she'd have brought a W man in here. The whole, I knew my grandma. Oh, she'd have ran him up out of here because of my grandmother's history with the W man and the W people. She ain't with that. She don't want them around us like that because she know the dangers that come with that, unfortunately. And that's not something she created. That's something they created. So now when you have Latinos echoing the same sentiments of the W man and his woman towards us, when we historically have been fighting with y'all and living in the same communities with y'all. Nah, man. So y'all can't say that y'all don't understand, because y'all understand it. And like I said, growing up here in Philadelphia, where we're mostly black, I didn't really see it until I got old enough to go outside of the community. And when I went up into New York, I seen it at times. Here in Philadelphia is a little different, right? You know, my mom's side of the family, they're black. Like me, we're black. So there is no discrepancy outside of that side, right? So again, man, it gets real goofy, man. It gets real goofy. And a lot of black people in America are starting to wake up. And we're starting to get to a point where we're saying we're not doing for nobody else until we start doing for ourselves. Because we always open up our doors and hugged everybody and made everybody else feel safe. But it's not being reciprocated, man. We're not getting the same love back from people that we expect to get. We're not getting it. And then they act like they don't understand, but they understand. We all saw what happened in California on that city council when they was calling us monkeys and all kinds of stuff. These people are not our friends, man. They're not our friends. And then you hear a lot of the Afro-Latinos, which would be on like my mother's side, those Afro-Latinos, they complain the same thing. They're complaining. So what I'm saying is, these people ain't rocking with us, man. We ain't got no friends. But y'all let me know what y'all think, man. If you made it this far in the video, hit that like button, subscribe to Street Media TV, leave your comments in the comment section. Remember, I love y'all. Till the next time. Peace.